Hello, CW Henry, third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders, and students in class 201. This is Principal Davis coming to you virtually. I am so excited to welcome you all back to school soon. The purpose of this video is to walk you through some of the things that you can expect when you return to the school building. I also hope that this video might answer some of the questions that you have on your mind. Let's get started. As I said, we are so excited to have you back at Henry School. You've been amazing learning from home all year long, and we are so excited to finally welcome some of you back into the school building. If you're coming to school next week, either on Monday and Tuesday or Thursday and Friday, the teachers and I want you to know that Henry School is going to look and feel a little bit different than it did if you came to school last year. In this video, we're going to review some of the information together so that you hopefully can feel as prepared as possible. So I think everybody knows me. That's a picture of me on the left-hand side, but don't forget, we are still in a pandemic. So when you come back to school, everybody will be wearing masks. There's a silly picture of me on the right wearing my mask. Don't worry, you won't be able to tell, but we are all going to be smiling, knowing that you're coming back to the school building. As you walk around the building, you will see adults and children wearing masks at almost all times. Sometimes if a grown-up is in a room or an office by themselves, you might see them without their mask on, and that's okay because they're alone. But anytime that we are working together or doing anything in school with another person, we must wear our mask. So let's start at arrival. Just like last year and during virtual school, school begins at 8:30 a.m. If you're coming to school in the school building, arrival is going to look very different than it did last year. We no longer line up in lines on the upper schoolyard. Instead, each morning, each class has a designated door that they're going to use to come into the school building. In the picture, you can see a little green card on the outside of the door. Don't worry, you're not supposed to be able to read the card, but just know that each door on the outside of Henry Building now has a number. We're going to learn which door you're going to use. So if you are a third grader in class 112 or 113, or a fourth grader in Miss Mullins' class, your classroom is in the portables. So in the morning when you come, you're going to line up or group outside of the portable door. It is door number 11. There's going to be about 15 of you all together. So make sure that you're using your social distancing, wearing your mask. Of course, you can bump elbows with a friend and say hi, but at 8:30, your teachers will come through those doors and welcome you into school. If you are a third grader in Miss McNeil's class, Miss Harbach's class, or a fifth grader, you're going to use door number 12. Now, I don't have a picture of door number 12, but believe me, you all know it very well. This is the first floor recess door, the ones that you walk up the steps to if you need to go to the main office or if you need to go to the nurse's office. So again, there's going to be between 10 and 15 of you coming through that door. So make sure that you spread out as much as possible, kind of group yourself with your classmates, and then teachers one at a time will come down and pick up your class and you will walk to the classroom together. And last but not least, if you are in Miss Grant's class, class 201, you're going to be coming through the main entrance, which is door number 2. Now, some students in class 201 are going to be coming on the school bus. You'll be coming a little bit earlier. But if your parent is dropping you off, just know in class 201, if you're getting dropped off, please come to the main entrance. Either Miss Brenda, Miss Grant, or another adult will meet you there to bring you upstairs to your classroom. Here's a big picture of the main entrance door. It also has a little green rectangle on it that says door number 2. Students in class 201, I just want you to know that the door next to it is door number 3, and some of our first graders come through that door every morning. So it's going to be more people outside than what you remember from last year, but they use a different door than you do. So dismissal is going to be very simple. That's because the door where you get dropped off in the morning is the same door that you're going to use in the afternoon when you go home. If you have permission to walk home alone, it's important that a parent or a grown-up at home communicates that to your teacher or to the main office, either in a remind message or in an email. We have to have it in writing if you're going to be walking home by yourself. If you have a grown-up or a babysitter or someone else coming to pick you up, let them know that they should come to the door that you're dropped off at in the morning. This is for grown-ups to know. This information will be shared in a class letter, a school letter, so you don't have to always refer to this video, but here are the doors one more time. Third graders are coming in through the portable doors, as well as Miss Mullen's fourth grade class. Our fourth and fifth graders are coming through door number 12, which is our recess door on the first floor. And then last but not least, our sixth, seventh, and eighth graders in Miss Grant's class coming to the building will be coming through the main entrance, door number 2. Guess what? If anyone is ever confused or they forget which door they need to use, don't worry, you can just come to the main office. This year we have an awesome new school safety officer. Her name is Officer Gaffney, and she knows where everybody needs to go. So if you're ever feeling confused or you're not sure, we will figure it out together. Just come to the main office. Last but not least, if you come to school after 8:35, please come to the main entrance because the other doors will be closed. That way, a grown-up will make sure you get to your classroom. All right, so once we're in school, what about breakfast? If you remember last year, we used to eat breakfast in the cafeteria before school started. This year is different. We are now eating breakfast in classrooms, and breakfast begins at 8:30 a.m. So when you come in the morning, either your teacher or another grown-up in the school will come around and ask you if you'd like breakfast. We try to do this as soon as you come in the school building. If you like breakfast, you will raise your hand. The grown-up is going to check it off on a breakfast sheet and then bring the breakfast to your classroom. We're going to wrap breakfast up every day by around 9:15 a.m. This has been a question we've been asked frequently, right? When are we going to take our masks off in school? So it is important that when you're in your classroom, walking throughout the hallways, you are wearing your mask fully over your nose and your mouth. Of course, when you're eating or drinking, whether in the classroom or in the cafeteria, you take your mask off. But in that instance, it's really important that we're sitting still and remaining in one location. We never are walking around without our masks off. Even when we're outside, we're wearing a mask. If you ever need help with your mask, if it gets dirty or you need a new one, don't worry, we have lots of grown-up size masks and kid masks at school. So if you ever need help, just ask an adult. Another thing that's different this year is that you're going to see some white and green arrows on the staircases. This is because we have some stairs designated for going up as a class and some staircases that are designated for going down. We're trying to make sure that we're walking in the same direction so that we're not having crowds in the hallways. You're not going to be walking around the school very much. You're just going to spend most of the time in your classroom. But as you're transitioning with your class, when you're going to lunch, you're going to make sure to follow these arrows. We don't want any traffic jams. All right, so how's lunchtime going to work? Well, just like when you were learning at home, everyone in grades 3, 4, and 5, as well as class 201, are going to have lunch at 12 o'clock. We all eat together at the same time. So we're going to spread out in the cafeteria. On the next slide, I'm going to show you a picture of what that looks like. We have lunch for about 20 minutes, and then we get ready to go outside. Of course, if you need to use the bathroom, you use the bathroom in the basement before you go out. And then we're outside for around 20 to 25 minutes. Recess time is officially over at 12:45. So what will happen is that your teachers are going to come outside to pick up the classes. Now, if your schedule allows it and your teacher will review this with you, on some days, classes can stay outside for extra recess. That's a possibility for your class as well. So everybody eats lunch in the cafeteria. I want to just remind you who some of the grown-ups are in the cafeteria and in the basement hallway who help you during lunch and recess. Those people are some familiar faces as well as some new faces. We have Mr. Washington, Miss Sydney, Miss Dawn, and Miss Diggs. And this year we have 2 new people helping, Miss Adonis and Miss Mel. If you're bringing a lunch from home, you're going to walk straight into the cafeteria to sit down and eat. If you're a kid who's going to eat school lunch, as we're coming into the basement, you're going to just line straight up at the cafeteria, at the kitchen with Miss Rashida and with Miss Maria and get your lunch tray, and then you go into the cafeteria. Don't worry, the grown-ups will help you. Here's a reminder of some of our grown-ups' faces. We have Miss Sydney, Mr. Washington, Miss Mel is new this year. We also have Miss Adonis, who is new this year, Miss Dawn, and last but not least, Miss Diggs. Of course, they're going to be wearing masks in the school building, but if you're ever not sure of someone's name, that's okay. Just say, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Can you please remind me? Here's a picture of what the tables look like in the cafeteria. So you can see that little white and green sticker that says, please sit here. At every cafeteria table, we have 3 people sitting at it, with the exception of table number 3, which has 4 kids sitting at it. When you walk into the cafeteria, you're going to see that each table has a sticker that gives it a number. The grown-ups will tell you which tables to sit. We are so excited to have you come to school. There's just a couple more things I want to review. A question we've been asked is, what should I bring when I come to school? You should definitely bring your book bag. You should bring your Chromebook if you have a Chromebook from the School District of Philadelphia. If you've been using a computer, a laptop, or a Chromebook from home that belongs to your family, you do not need to bring that device to school. We have a School District of Philadelphia Chromebook waiting for you in the Henry School building. You should definitely bring your Envision math book, something to write with like pencils and an eraser. If you want to eat a lunch from home, make sure you bring your lunch. And I recommend that you bring an empty water bottle. This is because the water fountains are turned off where you put your mouth to the water fountain. That's because we want to spread as few germs as possible. The part where you can take the cap off your water bottle and fill your water is still working. So please make sure you bring an empty water bottle so you can have something to drink throughout the day. You do not need to come to school wearing a school uniform. Of course, if you want to wear your Henry t-shirts, we love to see them, but it is not required. The most important thing is that you come to school wearing appropriate footwear. So as the temperatures get warmer, please know it is never safe to wear open-toed shoes or sandals without a strap in the back. I recommend that you come to school wearing layers. So a sweatshirt, a light jacket, something that you can put on or take off depending on the temperature. We try to open as many windows as possible in the school building to make sure that we have lots and lots of fresh air. Sometimes in the morning, this can feel a little chilly. So I recommend that you bring your layers to school. Last but not least, it's really important that everybody knows that Nurse Annalie Larson is the one that makes sure that we're staying safe and healthy. Each week, she's going to be testing a few kids to make sure that nobody in our school building has COVID-19. This is what we call asymptomatic testing. It's okay to feel a little bit nervous about COVID testing. Maybe in the last year, you've had an experience where you've been tested with your family. It looks a little bit different in the school building. So I want to show you a video that walks you through exactly what Nurse Larson will be doing.
So now I want to introduce to you one of our school nurses who is going to show you what the testing will look like.
Hello everyone, and hello Mahira. I am Nurse Sheila. The test we'll be administering is the Bionex Now Rapid Antigen Test. This test requires a nasal swab of the anterior nose, which will not cause any pain to the student. The results are given within 15 minutes. So Mahira, today we're going to do a quick swipe in your nose. This may tickle a little.
Please remember, In order for your child to participate in hybrid learning, you must consent to COVID-19 testing. You can sign the consent virtually at philasd.org/studenthealth/COVID testing. Thank you for your attention to this video. We cannot wait to see your child back at school. So now I want to...
All right, and that brings us to the end of our video. We cannot wait to see you back in school, whether it's going to be next Monday, next Thursday, or in the upcoming weeks. Please know that if you have any other questions after watching this video, you can talk about it with your teachers. You can always send me an email. My email address is kdavis4@philasd.org. And last but not least, your parent can call the main office to speak to Miss Lou. We're going to keep each other safe and healthy, and we cannot wait to have you back at school. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.